Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. For those who've been following this channel for a very long time, I've always maintained that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing just happens for the sake of it. There is no way, and I repeat, there is no way William Samoei Arap Ruto, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, and the UDA party leader would have opted for Cleophas Malala as the Secretary General of UDA party when Malala himself was not a member of UDA party. William Ruto wanted to achieve certain objectives, and clearly he's going to achieve those objectives. And for those who follow this channel, when William Ruto made that move, I opined on this platform that it was actually a strategy by Ruto to make Musalia mudavadi feel that he would be in control of UDA party because of Malala, to facilitate the merger of ANC party into a bigger political party, which will then now be called UDA party. And yesterday, Malala was in Kisumu, and he delivered a message to Musalia mudavadi, Moses Masika Wetangula of Ford Kenya, and Maendeleo Chapchap party leader Alfred Mutua. And the message from Ruto was very simple, that there is no need of you being in the cabinet while still holding on to your party. That you have no business being a cabinet secretary while you still claim to have a party. Let's say, for example, Mutua still complaining, still alleging that he has a party, Maendeleo Chapchap, or Musalia mudavadi still clinging to ANC party. The other message he told them that they are going to ensure that all parties forming Kenya Kwanza are actually merged into one party called UDA party, the ruling party. And he also had a message for those who are visiting State House that moving forward, State House visits will be restricted to only those with the agenda of promoting UDA party. So clearly, William Ruto had a mission and a vision with Malala. So in this video, I want us to look at the message which Malala delivered and why William Ruto actually wants these parties to merge together. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get to the business. And let me ask you, why do you think the people or the leaders from Nyanza who wanted to cooperate with William Ruto are now being forced to wear yellow? Why are they being forced into UDA party? Because clearly from yesterday's meeting and the ones they have planned, if you come from Nyanza and you want to join Ruto, then you'll have to wear yellow. Why? It's because of this strategy which William Ruto is actually laying, which is elaborate, to merge all these parties into one. The strategy why William Ruto wants this are the following. Number one, William Ruto wants to have full control over who will be elected as a governor, senator, MP, MCA, and which other elective post, women rep in Kenya Kwanza. For example, today in this country, there are people who are elected on ANC party. William Ruto would want them to be elected this time around as UDA party. Mudavadi will have his party, which will collaborate, but then those who will get elected will actually be dictated by Ruto. For example, if William Ruto wants Halwale to be the gubernatorial candidate in Kakamega, then Malala would not be able, because last time Malala was sponsored on ANC. That's exactly his scheme of things. In Bungoma, where Weta has fought Kenya, William Ruto would want those elected MPs, governor and senators, to be elected on UDA party, so that he can actually dictate, he can control. You know, when you are in a coalition, let me just give you a case of NAC. Let's say we had a case of NAC. Let's say we had NAC. You know, NAC, we had LDP, we had DP, but it was easy for Kibaki to sneak Tojo, for example, in Rarieda under the banner of NAC or LDP. That's the exact thing William Ruto is trying to do. Number two, and you will agree with me, is that politics is a game of numbers. William Ruto wants to take control of parliament. He wants to have absolute majority in the National Assembly, in the Senate. Because as things stand today, he had a challenge. He had to use his powers now as the president to force certain things, to force majority, and to force people like majority leader at the National Assembly. Because the truth is, Azimio had the majority by numbers. But after William Ruto was declared the president, the first thing he did was to get the independent MPs to side with him. Then he had to force some parties from northern Kenya to sign an agreement, post-election agreement with him, and that's what shifted the numbers, which enabled him now to have majority. William Ruto would want a situation where in the next election, his party is going to come out, UDA as a political party, is going to come out as the absolute, or come up with absolute majority in parliament, so that we don't have ANC, we don't have Fort Kenya, it's just UDA. And why do you think he's keen on game of numbers? Which takes us to the third point, constitutional amendment. In the second term of William Ruto's rule, if he will win, William Ruto is going to change the constitution. He's going to recommend constitutional amendments. And those constitutional amendments which he's going to recommend are going to help him, as William Samoei Arap Ruto, achieve his objectives. William Ruto is going to try to remove the term limit of the president. If that's not going to happen, William Ruto is going to try what Uhuru Kenyatta did. Create the position of prime minister. The one Musalia is now holding, but is now going to entrench it in the constitution, and then is going to give that position more powers. There are only two ways we can change the constitution in this country. Either through a parliamentary initiative, which is the shortest one, or through a referendum. Referendum would mean facing up with the people. Kenyan voters have always proven over time that they can actually rebel. And that's the fear William Ruto has. So the best option for him is to work on the numbers. And William Ruto is actually working on the numbers. So that if, for example, he will be able to get the 2/3, and then he has the state machinery, the state power, he's the president, then nothing will stop him from changing any constitutional amendment he wants. Nothing will stop him. And for me, that is one of the things William Ruto is actually focusing on right now. And let's face it, William Ruto is a schemer. And in most cases, in his schemes, he gets them right. When he engineered the merger of URP and TNA, they ended up with a majority in parliament. Now, UDA did not achieve that majority per se, but now if we will merge it with ANC, because William Ruto really felt, in my view, that Musalia Mudavadi did not really deliver, but he's seeing a potential in Western Kenya. And that's why he's trying to make Western Kenya own kind of UDA party. So that if you go for an election, Western Kenya will view UDA party as more closer home. And it's going to make Musalia Mudavadi believe that probably he'll be the next after Ruto. So they'll vote for those parties. Mount Kenya is still stuck with Ruto because William Ruto has mastered their psychology. So for them, they are sorted. William Ruto believes that as the president, he can then now go to places like northern Kenya and coastal region to win a few seats there. The fourth objective why he wants all these parties to merge is the 2032 succession politics. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta played with this succession politics to an extent that William Ruto ended up winning without his support. To an extent that the person he was supporting, who is Raila Amolo Odinga, actually lost, in quotes, the presidency because he was never declared the president. William Ruto is not keen on following that footsteps. And because of the lessons, you know, like right now, William Ruto is trying to fight their businesses, is trying to fight his allies. The truth is, William Ruto, once these parties merged, then it will be easy. If, for example, he will be able to have absolute majority members of parliament, then he can easily rally and convince the top players within the coalition to agree to work together. Then he can shepherd them into the next election, 2032 election, even if he won't be there. So the truth is, William Ruto is keen on his succession politics. And lastly, if you ask me, William Ruto is looking beyond 2032. You know, Uhuru is today disadvantaged. Why? He doesn't have a voice in parliament. If Uhuru had, for example, 50 members of parliament from Mount Kenya, do you think William Ruto would be doing whatever he's doing on him? He won't be able to do that. So the truth is, William Ruto would want a situation where his party will have majority, let's say 100 members of parliament, so that even if he won't be in power, these members of parliament will be able to defend him. Because William Ruto has actually set a very bad precedent where the next president will begin by dealing with the policies of the previous regime, will begin targeting the previous regime, will begin reversing the policies and even revenging. I don't know what you think. But for me, that message by Malala to Mudavadi is serious. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.